What did you do yesterday?
Videos.
Oh, he's wanting to tell you his story, Dennis.
What happened?
What happened, Dad?
Well, I was just making Christmas videos, man, alive.
Uh-huh.
And I got emotional in a few of them.
That was
That
fun.
happens.
That sure happens, man, alive.
Well, we're not done. We're doing them again today.
Sheesh.
What's your goal? You're trying to get what?
No, the videos for Christmas are just something new that we're just
Okay.
the first time I'm trying it, but
Okay.
I'm trying to do a little bit of an autobiography of
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
of
that's
my
good.
of me, you know, my life, which we haven't started yet, but we're practicing on the Christmas videos. So then I'm gonna go
Gotcha,
into it,
gotcha.
and then I'm gonna start probably. I can remember all the way back to when I was probably about I think 3 years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh wow. That's yeah. That's some memory there.
yeah. We were out in a little farm. My dad contracted the melon patch uh, acreage that this guy had. I don't know who he was, but my dad used to pick the melons, and in a carriage, in a carriage pulled by mules, and I
You.
remember him picking them up, you know, all the
I can see
melons,
that.
and taking them to market. And I remember living in that house, and there was an incident that happened one time that we were having dinner, and he said, "Make sure you eat all your meat because so you can grow big and strong, you know." And
Uh-huh.
so Fernie was there too. I remember him, and I don't remember him talking that much because he must have been 1.5 or 2, something like that. And he wasn't talking that much. But anyway, we were uh, sleeping, I believe, in the living room, and we were in a bed there that had a mattress and had a spring, you know, a bed like a double bed, and we
Okay,
were
yeah, I
sleeping
got
on it. Yeah. So right after we ate, we went to bed, and then we started jumping on the bed. You know, because we're gonna be big and strong, you know. So we
you.
were
Yeah.
demonstrating that we were already strong, and both Fernie and I were jumping on the bed, and all of a sudden the bed boom broke and fell on the
Uh-oh.
floor. And then at that moment when the bed broke, I still remember in my mind, I said, "Oh my God, we're gonna get it." I knew it already. We're gonna get it. I said, you know, I remember that thought. And then all of a sudden, my mom and dad started laughing. You know, they cracked up because we fell on the bed, you know. And then when they started laughing, I said, "Oh, we're not." In my mind. And I cracked up with them too. I said, "Oh, I guess we're not getting it."
Oh gosh, that's funny.
And I've never forgotten that incident. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that made me think about my bed incident.
Yeah.
Gee.
And I was only about 3, I guess 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Wow.
that's
To remember that far back is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
there's a lot of incidents I remember about living there. Uh, my my tia Chata is 10 years older than me. So at that time, she must have been about 13. So she did live with us, I guess, there a certain amount of time because my mom used to take care of her because her mom passed away. Um, so my tia Chata remembers about living there. So I used to talk to her about it, and I remember about a turkey that used to live under the house, and I remember her laying eggs, and she had little turkeys,
Oh,
you
so
know.
cute.
And then I remember that, and I told my tia Chata, I remember the little turkeys that came out of the eggs, and so forth. And she says, "You remember that? Oh my God, you were just a little baby." Oh yeah, I still remember that. And then I said, I also remember that I used to cross the street from where we lived, and there was a horse ranch out there. So I used to see the horses running around, and saw that. And you remember that? Oh yes, I remember that. She says, you still remember that far back? Oh yeah, I still remember that. Yep. So that's about probably the furthest back I remember.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, that's still back there.
Yep, and that area is called Mount Signal. There's a big mountain over there west of Calexico that's called Mount Signal. And there's a community out there also, so they live out in, they said Mount Signal. It's between Calexico and San Diego. So
Did
I
you ever
remember
go
them.
back and visit that place?
What?
Did you ever go back and visit that place where you grew up?
Oh yeah, I do remember. I've been there a few times, and it's
Okay.
incredible that nowadays when I go over there, it feels like a little teeny town.
Yeah.
Back
It's
then,
smaller, don't it?
yeah, back then to me it was a good sized town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but now when I go over there, I feel like the blocks I used to walk are only, I don't know, very small, small blocks, Yeah, and I actually remember when Maria was born.
Me?
No, I mean Valentina.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I mix my kids with my brothers and sister a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then I say, I
because they were your kids too.
but they were my kids too, I guess. I remember like my kids,
Yeah.
but I call them, I call them like, I automatically called Valentina Maria. But I remember when Maria was
You
born.
mean Valentina?
I remember when Eddie was born. I remember when Henry was born. I do not remember when Tomas was born. Or Fernando. Well, I was too little. But I do remember Maria's, Valentina's. Gee, many crickets.
I know.
What's wrong with me?
Brent does it too, so.
Yeah. The one that I remember the most is Henry's birth. It was born on I even remember the street, Blythe.
Oh.
It was close to my aunt Lecha's house on Blythe Street.
Well, that's close to where he lives too.
Yeah, so I remember going over there, and she was born in a house, I guess, with a maid. What are those? What do they call them? Maids that help deliver babies.
Midwife.
Midwife.
Yeah. Valentina was born with a midwife, and so was Henry. And I think Eddie was born in a little hospital in Dinuba. I remember that too. Yep. So anyway, and I remember when Henry was born, we went up to the house, and these houses over there had windows, and we would obviously the bedroom window, and so we used to go in there, and when Mom had Henry, we went by over there, and then we used to talk to Mom. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Da 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 da. How's the baby? Oh, the baby's fine. Da da, and all that kind of stuff. And then I remember when Mom came home with Henry. But the incident I got for sure I'm going to repeat on the recording is the incident when Mom and Dad were having problems, and Mom decided to leave to Fresno with all 6 kids. Okay, and then she had a bag of money, a big suitcase full of money. I don't know, sheesh. And then I remember the Greyhound guy trying to load that suitcase into the Greyhound, and he went over to pick it up like he thought he could pick it up like nothing, and boom, what the hell you got in here? It was full of cash coins, I guess, you know. And I remember he struggled to put it into the Greyhound. Oh my goodness. I remember that for sure. But then we're in the Greyhound, right? And we're traveling. And all of a sudden, Henry starts crying. Oh man, he was crying, making a lot of noise. And then Mom says, open the window. Throw him outside or shut him up. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
We panicked. I'll never forget that. My God. We said, no. And we all, Henry, shut up. Ooh, shh. Oh my goodness. Every time I tell this story, I crack up. Man alive. She said, throw him out the window. I got enough of you already.
Oh no.
My goodness. And we believed her. Oh my goodness.
Sound like a firecracker.
Oh my goodness. That's a good story. Oh my goodness. And then there was another incident where we were going through Fresno and we stopped by at the park, you know, Fresno Park. And we left to Merced. And we were, I don't know how many kids were in the pickup in the back and who all was going, but it wasn't just our family. It was also some other kids. But we left Valentina in the park. We got to Merced.
Oh no.
And we started counting kids, you know. Where's Valentina? She's not here. Oh my goodness, we left her in the park.
Who noticed?
She went to the bathroom and we left.
Oh no.
Something like that happened. So anyway, we went all the way back to Fresno. And then we started looking for her. And she was riding around with the cops.
No.
And we finally found her with the cops, you know. Oh, well, I guess we picked her up because she was walking alone and she didn't know where her parents were. So we just decided to just keep her. I figured the parents would come back. So we did.
Oh my gosh.
And we picked her up and we took her back.
Who noticed she was missing?
Huh?
Who noticed that she wasn't
Well,
there?
when we started counting them after everybody got off the pickup in Merced.
No.
Well, you know, there was a whole bunch of kids. And then we just started, where's Valentina? And she says, we don't know. Oh, we must have left her in the park. Oh. And then we went back and picked her up. Oh my goodness. Some stories.
Yeah. What happened? Uh-oh. He fell off my car. Hold on.
Is this a paper?
Yeah. What happened? The phone hung up.
Huh?
I asked you what happened.
Oh, I don't know. Let me put it back.
Well,
Is
I'm
it
almost at my house now anyway.
okay?
And we used to work, all of us, including Eddie. The only one that didn't work was Henry, water boy.
Well, guess we're gonna.
He carried the water around.
I can't see
Yeah, he never worked the fields. He was always a water boy.
you.
Yeah, he's.
What is he strolling through the water now still?
Well, say that again. We didn't hear you.
Huh?
Say that again.
I said
No,
Henry,
What's that?
Henry never worked. He was a water boy. He just carried the water around.
Carried the water around.
Yeah, at the fields. In the grapes, and when we went to work in grapes, and when we went to see what we did is, Mom contracted 100 acres of figs, and then we used to go around the 100 acres picking up figs, because
That's a lot of.
the figs drop off the tree, and then we go pick them up and box them, and then we get paid by the box or something like that. I remember that. So we worked all the way through October, and we started school in November. That's how late we started. So I remember that year, which was 1954. And we got to school in the first quarter. So the first quarter we got incompletes because we started in November. And I remember Fernie and I and Tomas, and I think I was a sophomore in high school. Fernie was a freshman, and I think Tomas was an eighth grader. I don't know whether he was in public school or whether he went to Christian school, but I went to Christian school in 7th grade, then 8th grade, but then we couldn't afford it anymore, and then they decided to we decided to go to public school. My mom decided to put us in public school, but my mom by that time was pretty sick, and then in Merced, she was with us, but she only kind of just kept the family together and kind of cooked for us and stuff like that. But the kids and my tia Chata was there also, and we picked. I think even my grandpa was with us. Anyway, so we picked up all the figs, and then we didn't leave till the harvest was done. The harvest was done in October, so then we finally went back to school, and we started school in November. So then,
Wow.
and then we started school, and that year it was a good year for me. I actually caught up everything, and I got actually in the end of the year, I got my best grades. I got 4 A's and 2 B's.
Nice.
But my mom died that March. That when I was in sophomore year, and she died over in San Diego of leukemia. So it was quite an experience that year.
Wow.
And then my grandma and my grandpa came to the funeral of my mom, and they were in a truck or something like that. I kind of remember when my mom died, different people wanted to take like 2 of us with them, and I said no. Family stays together. So if that's the only way we go, all together. So the only one that would do it was my grandma, my dad's mom. So
Aw.
she took us, and then we went with her, and we kept together. So
That's good though.
yeah, and then from there we moved over to different homes, and we I remember where we lived in by the railroad tracks in these little houses that uh, um, migrant workers used to live in. You know, by the tracks there,
Mm-hmm.
little homes, little rooms, and
Okay.
then eventually we found a ranch out there uh, west. I mean, east of Reedley, uh, where we met. Um, the Pampians were Seventh-day Adventists. I still remember the Pampians. They used to live close to the ranch house that we lived, so we used to kind of go over there. And they had a son that was also a Pampian, and they were Armenians, and they were building a mansion that they never finished.
Oh wow.
A two-story house. You could see the wire on the walls, you know, for the plaster it.
Yeah.
The black paper they put on.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the outside looked like in the house. The guy was a builder. He was building it himself, but I never saw it finished. But anyway, I used to work for him, sanding boxes. He used to uh, clean up boxes for packing.
Yeah.
So I used to sand off the old paper and then clean the boxes up. You know how?
Oh, they're wood boxes?
Yeah, the
Like wood?
boxes. They were wooden boxes.
Oh, okay.
You know, and they used to glue a paper that said, you know, what kind of fruit it is and stuff like that.
Okay, okay.
So anyway, this was glued on the box. So in order to use the box again, he used to collect boxes, but the paper was still on there.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, he needed somebody to sand off this paper off the boxes.
Yeah.
So Ferdy and I used to go and we were sanders.
Oh.
Okay, so now, of course, at this time, I was a junior in high school, so I must have been, I guess, 17, something like that.
Okay.
16, 17. So I was already pretty strong. And Fernie was too, and we used to go work for him for $1 an hour.
Wow.
Whoa, that's pretty good.
You know, sanding these boxes. And I remember one time that I was really proud that I earned $81
Oh my gosh.
in 1 week.
Yeah, that's really good for that time.
Oh yes, I was all proud of that, man. I got $81. That means I worked 81 hours, man. Gee, many crickets. I of course I didn't think about that. I just thought about the dollars, man alive. I said I was rich. Yep. And then from that, when we moved in that ranch, we were there for a while, and then we found the house in Reedley, 1410 F Street, and then we moved there. And then we stayed there until I graduated. I graduated from high school, and I graduated from Reedley High School, and also that's when I met Dr. Taves, and he helped me go to La Sierra Adventist University College. Then I came back and graduated from Reedley College, also living at 1410 F Street.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember all that. And then,
So that ranch was your guys' ranch?
what's that?
Who did the ranch belong to?
No, I don't know. We were renting it.
Oh, okay.
You know, I don't know who it belonged to. I guess my grandma, my grandpa found it or something, or maybe somebody helped them. They found a ranch, and we went out there, and we were able to stay there for a while until we found the 14 F Street, and that belonged to our neighbor. He was I guess he had a grocery store or something like that. Our neighbor next door. So we became friends with them, And then we lived in F Street, so obviously then I was a junior in high school at that time.
Oh, wow.
You know, and then I remember there was a basement in that house. Then I used to I kind of fixed myself a little lab in there.
Oh.
Yeah, to study. I put my library down there and all that, and uh, I used to study chemistry down there.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
Yeah, and stuff like that, you know.
Blowing up the house.
Yeah, so the neighbor used to look at the middle of the night, and she told me, I used to see somebody down there in the basement. I wonder what he's doing down there. So mainly what I was doing is just kind of going over my chemistry stuff, you know, and studying and all that kind of stuff. So I kind of remember that. But anyway, I kind of fixed myself a little lab over there. Now, I don't know what I did, but anyway. Anyway, from,
The first man cave, no?
you know, and then I remember Eddie and Henry working out there in the yard with barbells and all this, and Eddie working out with his body, you know.
Yeah.
He started was interested in health way back then, you know, on 1410 F Street. I think he was only in grammar school.
Oh,
And
wow.
Henry was also in grammar school, and that's when I that's in grammar school for Henry. That's when I participated. I participated in grammar school with Henry. I kind of taught him a little bit about science, and I helped him with his math. So he was taking math, and I think he was in 6th grade. And he was already in 8th grade math.
Wow.
Because
Wow.
I was working with him all the time with math, you know. And his teacher was really surprised at how this little Mexican kid can do so well. And then I remember one time that the teacher asked the class, does anybody know what humidity means?
What?
Humidity.
Yeah.
You know, he asked the class, does anybody know what humidity means?
Uh-huh.
And nobody raised a hand except for Henry. He goes, and then he says, he's this little Mexican kid. What's humidity? That's the concentration of water in the atmosphere. The teacher was bombed. He couldn't believe it. How does this kid know that? And all the other kids were Anglos and whatever they were, right?
Yeah.
And Henry's the only one goes up like that. And after that, he became teacher's pet.
Oh, gosh.
You know, so the teacher says, how did you know that? Oh, my brother. My brother's a science major in chemistry.
Aw.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, so after that, he was teacher's pet.
Aw.
And then obviously I also went to PTA.
Uh-huh. Oh, the PTA, yeah.
Yeah. PTA, you know what PTA is?
For the school, right?
Yeah, to PTA. I went to a PTA meeting for Henry.
Yeah.
PTA is Parents and Teachers
Yeah.
Association.
Yeah.
So I walk in there, 17 or 18-year-old. Yes, I'm Henry's dad. Well, I'm his brother. So I'm coming in here and I want to know exactly just to know a little bit about what the PTA meetings are about.
Right.
Because I'm interested in his education.
Yeah.
And then I was able to sit in there. So, and I listened to the meetings and stuff like that. So, I remember that. So, anyway, I was probably the first 18-year-old
Oh.
that went to the PTA.
Yeah. And what did they say about him?
Oh, well, no, well, the teacher was really impressed with him. I mean, he was ahead in math all the way to, he was, I think in 6th grade, and he was already doing 8th grade math.
Wow.
Way up there, so he was just teacher's pet. After that definition of the atmosphere, that the what did I say?
Yeah. Humidity.
Yeah, humidity, and the definition. Oh my goodness, he the teacher couldn't believe it.
Wow.
And then from there Henry just became a good student.
Wait.
And then
Guess we'll
later
edit
on, I took him to Reseda to live with me for a little bit while I was doing my maintenance.
Uh-huh.
Now, in my maintenance, I had a customer that was an attorney and a CPA.
Okay.
So then I kind of saw this, and I thought, that sounds like a great idea for Henry. So then he went, he first of all became a CPA. And then I said to Henry, Henry, you should go to law school. Try to get into law school after you finish your CPA.
Yeah.
So that's what he did.
Nice.
And thus he became Henry Nunez.
And you guys became two peas in a pod.
Yeah. Henry Nunez, CPA, attorney at law.
There you go. That was very, very good.
Oh my goodness. So that was a story about Henry.
Wow.
Because I said, I think I'm going to need you someday.
That's for sure.
That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. Well,
What a story, right?
yeah. That was a great story. You took care of all your brothers and sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.